On today's video, we're talking emergency preparedness.
When the grid goes down, learn how to power up to 99% of your home energy needs. So Chris, we've got the Mango Power E big battery package here, and it's a big package and it's heavy. I know because I helped you bring this out.
170 pounds.
170 pounds
right.
worth. What are we looking at in terms of watt hours of power here and output?
So we had a look at the base unit a couple months ago. So it's 3,500 watt hours of battery capacity. And then they sent us the expansion battery.
Which is the one on top here.
Yep. Adds another 3,500 watt hours of battery capacity. But it's all utilizing one inverter. So It has 3,000 watts of constant AC output power.
Now this is the second generation, is that right?
Yeah, I think it's important to mention to people that there was a limited production run of first generations for the Mango Power E, and it had a handful of issues. And the second generation, which is in full production mode now, doesn't have any of those problems. And I can say that because we've been using this daily for the past 2 months.
And experienced any problems, any issues?
Absolutely none whatsoever.
Right. Now, Chris, I understand that Mango as a company puts a lot of focus on clean energy and the environment.
Yeah, I mean, they're very strong proponents of solar power. As you can see, we've got these solar panels behind us here. But they also decided to go with the best battery technology that's on the market for a very specific reason. It has so many charge cycles, and we're going to get into that in a second, that the lifespan is significantly longer than most other power stations. So that means less mining of lithium. You know, so it's a little bit.
That's a big deal right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, I mean, it's kinder to the environment. So between their focus on solar and focus on having, you know, the very best batteries that, you know, require less lithium to be mined, it's a win for the environment. It's a win for Mango. It's a win for the customer.
All right, Chris. So speaking of batteries, tell me about this battery technology we're dealing with here.
So the Mango Power E has the best of the best. The LiFePo 4 batteries, and they chose the premier manufacturer of LiFePo batteries, which is CATL. So these are the same guys who manufacture, you know, batteries for Tesla, Nissan, Hyundai, Honda, Jaguar, Land Rover, Volvo, BMW, and of course Tesla. Or Did I say Tesla already?
You did, but that's quite impressive.
Well, they probably make twice as many for Tesla.
All right. So Chris, what are we talking about in terms of charging cycles with these units here?
So Mango advertises 6,000 charge cycles, but CATL advertises 7,000 charge cycles. So I think, you know, Mango's trying to err on the side of caution.
You said 7,000.
7,000.
That sounds like a lot. What's that in terms of a time frame?
You're looking at probably like 10 to 12 years under normal usage. And at the end of the 10 to 12 years, by the way, it doesn't mean that the batteries are garbage. It just means that they're probably down in the 70% range.
Okay, because you do lose over time, right? A little bit of that storage capability with all batteries. Right?
Yeah, all rechargeable batteries slowly decrease in their capacity. You know, these are really high-end batteries, so it's not like you're going to see it immediately.
What about charging time? I'm really interested in that because that's a big deal for me.
Yeah, I mean, the big difference in quality of batteries is, you know, how long does it take to charge and how many charge cycles does it have? So the LiFePo 4 from CATL is like best of the best. So you're looking at 0 to 80% for this entire stack for all 7,000 watt hours in 60 minutes.
Are you sure about that? That sounds really fast.
Yeah, we actually timed it, to be honest with you.
Wow.
And then the balance, the last 20%, 30 minutes. So you're looking at 90 minutes total for 7,000 watt hours of battery capacity.
That's impressive.
Yeah, 0 to fully charged. It's incredibly fast. And the reason it's important is, like, if we have a grid down situation and you're running off of battery power, you know, you can run your generator for a very short period of time each day to boost it back up again.
That's a good point. And what's this have to do with this conversation?
Well, I brought this out because it's 42,800 milliamps. So it's a very small fraction of what the Mango Power E is. And granted, it gets charged into a USB port that doesn't have a ton of horsepower behind it. But this thing takes 8 hours to charge, fully charge, which is, you know, it gives you some idea of the quality of batteries. This is a cheap portable battery.
Right, right.
You know.
Wow. All right, Chris, let's talk about some nitty gritties here. What are we looking at as far as the output ports?
So the base unit has a 30 amp RV plug. There's 4 AC 120 receptacles. There are 6 USB-A ports, 2 USB-Cs, 2 12-volt barrel ports, a 12-volt car port. Then on the side of the unit, there's a handful of plugs. One of them is for this cable that we have plugged in that connects the top, but it also allows us to input power from solar or from AC. And then the top expansion battery doesn't come with a lot of ports. It's got a 12-volt car port, 1 USB-A port, 1 USB-C port.
All right, Chris, here's the $1,000,000 question. What can this power?
Well, at 3,000 watts of continuous AC power output, you know, for an average house, fridge, oven, microwave, lights, electronic devices, for 2 to 3 days on a single charge.
Wow. So Chris, what are your recommendations on some things that we can use to enhance the Mango Power E unit here?
So they have an accessory called the M Socket Pro, and it allows you to power 240 split phase appliances and devices like your dryer, your oven, those sort of things.
Okay, cool. Got solar panels behind us, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, we're strong proponents of clean energy as well. So, and we live in the Sunshine State. So solar panels are a great addition. Keep your costs down as well. Not to mention the fact that if you buy solar panels at the same time that you buy the Mango Power E, you can claim the 30% federal solar tax credit. So it's a non-refundable tax credit. So if you don't have a tax burden, you don't get 30% back. But if you have a tax burden, 30% of the total package. So the solar panels, the installation for the solar panels, the Mango Power E, connecting the Mango Power E to your circuit box, all of that, you get 30% back on your taxes.
Put some money back in your pocket. And obviously, we've talked about this before. This is the Alp Power Unit. Here, tell us about this in conjunction with the Mango.
So that's a propane generator. You know, we're not affiliated with them. They're $529 on Amazon. You can hook them up to any propane source, the little small Coleman tanks, all the way up to
those
like
little 2-pounders.
Yep, right up to, you know, like a 20-gallon, you know, tank for your grill. It's quieter than a gasoline generator, cleaner burning than a gasoline generator. And the advantage is you run it for, you know, a period of time in the morning, an hour or something like that, an hour during the evening when you have a grid down situation. That'll keep the batteries powered up if you don't have solar panels. And even if you do have solar panels, that'll give it a little extra boost to keep your batteries at full charge. But you don't have to run it all the time, so it doesn't cost a lot of money to run, but it keeps the lights on, literally keeps the lights on.
Which is pretty important. And this is really intriguing to me, EMP Shield. Tell us about this.
So we've mentioned these guys before. So EMP Shield are the only company that we're aware of that have EMP protection devices. So normally if you're going to protect anything from an EMP strike, it's got to be in a Faraday bag, a Faraday cage, and it has to have enough suppression for the size of the EMP strike. So these guys are based out of Kansas. They've won all kinds of awards. They've passed half a dozen military standards. They've got military contracts. And so this is not like a surge protector. These are actually shunts. So the first device you picked up would go between the solar panels and the Mango Power E.
Right.
And then the second device over here goes on in between the Mango Power E and the rest of your house. So what that does is if you had an EMP strike, anything that's plugged in is protected by these devices. So again, they're a shunt and they react within 500 trillionths of a second. So, I mean, less than a blink of an eye. And the idea is that, you know, electricity is always looking for its shortest path to ground. So a shunt operates where it basically deflects that EMP strike and says, oh, you can't ground through this. And it just literally bounces off and goes somewhere else and finds the path of least resistance somewhere else to ground out.
That's extremely valuable, really awesome technology.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this device for the home protection also comes with a $25,000 insurance policy on anything damaged in your home by a lightning strike.
Wow, that's impressive.
This is, I mean, this is a game changer. If you want,
they even make them for your car, for vehicles.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Right.
like I said, it's a game changer, Denny. Instead of having your stuff wrecked in a lightning storm, a CME, like a solar flare, or God forbid, an EMP strike, for a small amount of money, you know, these are about 500 bucks, 400 bucks, somewhere in that range.
That's cheap protection against EMPs.
Very cheap.
So Chris, just about everything with modern technology has a smartphone app. I'm assuming this has an application as well.
Yeah, Mango have like a super clean utilitarian smartphone app, which anybody who's seen our power station reviews knows that that's my preference.
Yeah.
And I come from a background in tech, and typically the smartphone apps for power stations that have a gazillion features, they don't work well. They're buggy, they crash, they lose connectivity, all those sort of things. The one for the Mango, or the one for the Mango, really straightforward, really simple, easy to use, tells you what's going on. You can turn ports on and off, tells you how much, you know, solar input's happening, how much is coming from AC, but it's really simple, straightforward, utilitarian, just the way it should be.
So technology like this that can supply so much power obviously isn't cheap. What are we going to spend on this?
Well, you know, we should preface that by saying that Tesla advertises their 13,000 watt hour Tesla Powerwall at $10,000. What they don't tell you is that by the time you add permits and accessories and labor and the whole 9 yards, it's $20,000 for a Tesla Powerwall, no matter how you cut it. So that's 13,000, you know, watt hours of power. And we've got, you know, a little over half of that here for a list price of $6,898. But Mango, like we said, you know, they're big on clean energy and whatnot. And, you know, we have this Earth Day going on. So between now and April 30th, they've given us a coupon that's down below, and you can get $800 off. So $6,098 for the big battery package. There's a couple other coupons they gave us. We'll put them below, you know, for some configurations we don't have. But here's the way to break this down. What is the cost per watt hour? So you're basically looking at 86.4 cents per watt hour of battery capacity for the very best batteries in the market, bar none.
When you think of it that way, it actually sounds pretty affordable. More affordable.
You're way over.
It's not a scary number.
No, I mean, but it makes everything relative.
Yeah.
So a Tesla Powerwall, like way over $1 per watt hour. We've reviewed some other small portable power stations. It's not unusual to see a cost for LiFePo 4s, $1.40, $1.50 per watt hour.
They get pricey, yeah.
Yeah, so 86.4 cents per watt hour for the best of the best. You can't beat it, especially in a large form factor like this.
I'm going to spend that kind of money. I'm expecting a good warranty.
5-year warranty on it. Realistically, you know, you're going to get 10 plus years service out of it without a problem. Should probably also mention though, Denny, that you can actually double this. So this, you could put another big battery package beside this, connect it with an E-Link. And so then you can have, you know, 14,000 watt hours of battery capacity. So a little bit bigger than a Tesla Powerwall.
Yeah. And
then you get dual inverters. So you can do 6,000 watts of continuous AC output power instead of 3,000. So it's very scalable and it's portable. You know, if you have this hooked up at home and you have an RV and you want to go, you put it on the wheels.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I got goofy happy when I saw that 30 amp RV plug in the front because I like to camp and I like my power.
You got goofy happy when you see me carry the top unit and you got to wheel the bottom unit. That's when you got goofy happy.
That's right. Obviously, guys, really, really cool power unit, the Mango Power E. We've got a lot of information for you. Hit those links and make sure you check it out.
You always got to be the center of attention. Come on.